Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Facebook Live. My name is Rachel, and I am an environmental educator here at Sea Turtle Inc. Sea Turtle Inc. is a nonprofit organization and sea turtle hospital in South Padre Island, Texas. Today we'll be doing a patient update, so I'm just going to walk you around the hospital and show you some of our current patients. We do actually have 32 patients in our hospital currently, which is pretty high for us. So I'm going to walk around and feature some of them and their stories. As always, let me know where you're tuning in from. I always love seeing all the different people that are tuning into these lives. I see my sister is tuning in. Hi, Steph. All right, so I am right here by one of our tanks. In here, we have some of our cold-stunned Kemp's Ridley sea turtles. So these cold-stunned sea turtles actually cold-stunned up near Massachusetts in the Cape Cod region, and they arrived to our hospital by airplane. If you've been following their stories, they are all still here being treated for various issues that result from being cold stunned, such as pneumonia. We are always checking out their blood work and making sure that all those different levels are looking normal and ordinary. And so a few of them are being treated for pneumonia and other issues, so they're still on their medications and everything. But they're all eating. They're pretty active, as you can see, so they're doing great here in our hospital. They'll probably just be here with us for a little while longer to finish up their treatment. Now you'll notice these guys are pretty tiny. If I put my hand here, you'll see how small they are. They are juvenile Kemp's Ridley sea turtles, so they're only a couple of years old. They're between 1 or 2 years old. We typically don't see this species and this size in our hospital. We typically see Atlantic green sea turtles. Atlantic greens love all the seagrass in our bay, so that's typically what we encounter here in our hospital. I know it's a little bit difficult to see. I'll walk to a different tank where we'll be able to see some more of the turtles. Now you'll hear there's a lot of water running right now. During this morning period is when our rehab team, our aquarists, our rehab specialists, and our vet tech are working hard to prep the animals for our facility to open. So they're doing water changes, they're feeding, they're vacuuming. So right now you'll see in front of me, this is Blitzen. We have Dasher and Blitzen in this tank. They are two of our current patients. They are Atlantic green sea turtles. They are juveniles, so they're also only a couple of years old. But you'll see they look completely different from the Kemp's Ridleys in the other tank. I see a lot of you hopping onto this live. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. See people from Oklahoma, Maryland, Virginia, Edinburgh, California, Weslaco. See my dad has hopped on. Hi, Dad. So this is Blitzen. Now, the turtles in this tank and this tank over here, you'll see there's this red paint and red tape over all of our equipment. That is because all of these sea turtles in these two tanks have a disease called Fibropapillomatosis. I'll show you a photo of what it looks like on sea turtles. It's a herpes virus that causes tumors to grow all over their body. So we have quite a few FP turtles, as we call them. Fibropapillomatosis, we shorten to FP. And so some of them have already received surgery and have had those tumors removed. Others are still awaiting surgery, but they are all doing well here at our hospital. This is Maria, our aquarist. She's working hard to prep our facility and do all of her morning duties. Here's another view of Blitzen. I do want to walk you over to this tank over here so you can see some more of the Kemp's. Now, if you're not familiar with the Kemp's Ridley sea turtle, that species, they are a species that we love here on our island because this species actually nests regularly on our island. The Kemp's Ridley is the most critically endangered sea turtle species in the world, and they happen to only nest right here in Texas and northern Mexico. And so since we typically deal with the hatchlings and the mamas, we don't often encounter juvenile Kemp's like this, so it's very exciting for us to have them here in the hospital. You'll notice they have these ridges on the top of their shell, and they're super cool to look at. Once they're adults, they'll actually lose those ridges. Now you'll notice these Kemp's actually have numbers instead of names on their back. Since we got 20 of them at once, we're doing a special adoption program where if you want to sponsor one of these animals, you actually get to name them. So we have quite a few that have already been adopted and named. If you are interested in that, we will be providing the links and everything in the comments below, as well as on this post. Kelly says that Ruby's asking what sea turtles can be found in Naples, Florida. So there are 7 species of sea turtle worldwide, and here in the US we actually see 6 out of the 7. So the only species we don't really encounter at all are the flatback sea turtles, since they are an Australian species, more on that side of the world. So you do get quite a variety of different species in Florida, a lot of different species nesting on Florida beaches as well. Now, different species will occupy different habitats, of course. So for example, leatherback sea turtles, they're often not found very close to shore just because they like to dive deep out in the ocean. They're the largest sea turtle species in the world. The largest leatherback on record was over 2,000 pounds. So of course they're going to be swimming and occupying a lot of space, so you won't necessarily find them in shallow inshore areas like you would the Atlantic greens here on our island. If you have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer them. If I don't get to them right now, I will answer them after I post this a little bit later on in the day. It's really fun to watch these little guys swim. As I said, they look so different than the Atlantic green, so it's very fascinating to see how different each sea turtle species is. Now, I was talking to our vet tech, Nina Navi, this morning, and she said all the chems are eating, they're all improving, so great prognosis for all of these patients that we have here in our hospital, which is very exciting. And they're all very active right now. They just got fed, so typically they are very active in the morning. Michelle asked, how long will the numbered turtles be at the facility? It kind of depends, you know. They're all sort of healing at different rates, but they'll probably be here, you know, a couple more weeks, couple more months. They're still recovering from all of those issues associated with being cold stunned, so they'll be here for a little while. Now I'm following Nina, our vet tech, into the clinic. Nina is working on prepping the food for all the sea turtles, but I wanted to show you how Justice is doing. So Justice is one of our newer patients. Justice has a skull fracture, as you can see here. Now he's also got some buoyancy issues, so you'll notice we have this little device in here. This allows him to prop himself and rest, so he doesn't just float around the tank with the current. So this kind of resembles like a rock out in their environment that they're able to tuck in. And sea turtles actually have very sensitive shells as well. So if he wants to scratch his back, he will be able to do it on this device. Our staff is keeping a very close eye on him just to make sure that that skull fracture is actually healing. Now you'll see Nina is actually feeding him right now. He is eating, which is great. But because of those buoyancy issues, she is having to feed him by hand. So he's receiving some different seafood right now. Shrimp, squid, and fish are typically what we feed our patients. It's always a great sign when our patients are eating, so we're very happy about that. And he has been eating pretty regularly, which is great. Because in addition to receiving all types of medications and vitamins and of course treatment, it is important that all of our patients eat regularly. So you'll watch this little guy get fed by Nina. There she is. Missy asks, when he heals, will he be able to be released? Yes, he will be able to be released. You know, we're not sure how long these buoyancy issues and the skull fracture will take to fully heal and resolve. So he'll probably be here for a while with us, but he's receiving great care and treatment from our staff. So as soon as he has concluded his treatment, he will hopefully be able to be released back to the wild. If you have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Amy says it's pretty cute to see him eat. Hi, Amy. Amy's one of our volunteers. Terry said, glad he's eating. What caused his fracture? We're not actually sure what caused his fracture. He was found like that. Could have been a variety of different things, but we cannot say a specific cause. He's eating a good amount of food, so that's great to see. So as I mentioned before, we do currently have 32 patients in our hospital right now, which is quite a lot of patients. So our staff is very, very busy helping all of these animals. They are receiving the best of care while they're here with us. And Justice is also an FP turtle, so he does also have that Fibropapillomatosis that I mentioned earlier. And he is an Atlantic green sea turtle, a juvenile, so this species and this size is pretty typical for us to see. So typically our patients, we'll drop the food in the morning and they'll eat it on their own. But with patients with buoyancy issues, we of course want to make sure they're eating regularly and not cause them too much stress. So for this patient, the best option right now is being tongue fed. Hope you're all enjoying this video. It's kind of fun watching the sea turtles eat. There we go. Want to make sure he doesn't bite the tongs. Now, sea turtles don't actually have teeth. They have beaks like birds, but their bite force is actually incredibly strong. And then Nina will kind of feed him just until he's sort of done, and then she'll record how many pieces he ate. She keeps track of everything going on with all of our patients. Amanda asks, will the cold stun camps be released in Texas or flown back north? They will be released in Texas. We'll find a suitable release site for juvenile camps here. Since they are native to the Gulf of Mexico, it makes sense to release them here. They'll also be in warmer waters. All right. So she's about wrapping up feeding Justice. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. Thank you for your continued support. We appreciate all of your comments and questions. If I didn't get to your question, I will answer them a little bit later on in the day. Thank you so much for your continued support. If you want to adopt any of these patients or donate towards their care, there's an option on this video. We'll also include some links. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye.